in the perfect position to judge it exactly right for Seat, and hope also that that will be completely wrong for everybody else. Now they're bunching up. Eduardo Freitas is very keen on this. The field must be 2 by 2 through the final couple of corners, and of course Ivan Muller wants them all to be going as slowly as possible because he can get the turbo boost up by dipping the clutch a little, whereas the others have to really rev the nuts off the thing to get it up into the rev rate. So the slower and more controlled it is, the better it is for the race, the better it is for Ivan Muller. It's aces all the way. So the red lights are on, safety car pulls off, we're ready for the start of round 5 at the World Touring Car Championship. They get the green, but no passing before the line. Rob Huff's very close alongside, and I think he's going to be ahead of Ivan Muller into the first corner, but has he gone too soon? Now the rolling start normally really favours the turbo diesel, and here comes the power. Huff's on the inside, and 3 Seats make their way safely round. He's got 4 BMWs, they're 3 wide behind him, and they're all safely through corner 1 for the first time ever in Valencia, and the leader into the second corner is Jordi Genet from Tarquini, and Ivan Muller is 3rd. Rob Huff in 4th. Looks like Prio's got up into 5th place ahead of Nick Larini in the second Chevrolet. That's an excellent start for him. No, it's not Prio. He's a couple of places further down. It's Farfus, I think, that we saw a little higher up. There's Paul Chiero. Somebody spinning in the background. Well, it had to happen sooner or later, but John, it looked for a moment there so Rob Huff might have the lead, but then the oomph of that diesel really came on strong.
Yeah, Rob got right on the gas quick enough, and he just got to be careful and didn't pass Ivan before they got to the start line, but he's right on it.
We're with Jörg Muller in 5th place, and there is Huff. He's looking to take 3rd place, and he doesn't. Oh, that's going to be very tough. And Ivan Muller, the pole man, contact, and that was from Jörg. The 2 Mullers nearly collided in practice when they both were in qualifying, when they both went off up the wet escape road, but they actually did make contact there. Well held by Ivan though.
Jordi Genet's in front. He's got a good jump at the start there.
Well, Genet won this race in 2005. The first race win for the petrol engine Leon as it was then when they newly introduced it. Further back there's Coronel just ahead of Perez Ecart, and getting in front of him is Thiago Montero. Car number 18 gets in front of the new boy to the Seat team, so he's got to climb the order. That's Montero getting up into 14th place, but the race leader is Jordi Genet. Gabriele Tarquini right with him. And the question we asked Rob Huff was, are they just going to run away from the Chevrolet? And it looks at the moment as if they've got the potential to do exactly that.
But they could damage their tyres. I mean, if they keep beating each other up here, they could just hurt their tyres a little bit, and Rob might just claw them back in again. So the Seat's a bit heavier than the petrol variant, so Rob could just hang on in there a few laps and he'll be right on them.
Well, at the moment you would think that Tarquini should not be trying to pass Genet. They'll work better slipstreaming each other as a pair and be able to get away from Huff and then settle the battle between themselves, you know, after they've had like 10 laps instead of 1 lap. So Tarquini is holding himself up, holding Genet up, and as a result Huff's right on their back bumpers.
Well, the two should work together here to just draw away, and then Ivan might just hassle Rob and get past as well, but instead of battling with each other, you're much slower when you do that, so they need to work as a pair and get off.
Well, let's have a look at the start, and the reason we're likely to see the replay is to see where Rob Huff has got to, and everybody, okay, 2 penalties, that's Genet and Huff. They were clearly in front of Ivan Muller when he got to the line, and
they still passed it before the start-finish line, so I would imagine that in the next couple of laps we're going to see some form of penalty for them.
I think you have to, and it's certainly something that is very, very clear. You can't pass before you cross the line, and they were not fully alongside. They actually had an overlap. Looking back at Alex Zanardi, good first corner from him, got inside Jörg Muller. Ooh, and that was Augusto. Here's Jörg Muller's view of Augusto in the first corner. Got contact from Andy Prio, but Andy had somebody inside him as well. I think it's very, very tight. A long run into that first corner. Well, again, look, we've got a breakaway top 5 with Genet, Tarquini, the blue cars of Huff, and Ivan Muller, Jörg Muller, and then Larini. Prio is a little bit behind Larini. Okay, what was Jörg waving at the pit wall for there?
James Thompson's hanging on the back of that lead bunch as well.
And Andy Prio has been dropped down to 8th place, in fact, so that's Farfus, and there is Thompson and Prio, the 2 British drivers. Prio, that little red highlight there, showing that is pole for race 2. That is their 2 highlighted positions, 1 and 8. Those are the ones you want. Anything in between is good points, but those 2 are the real key positions in race 1. So Ivan Muller in 4th, still looking to unsettle Rob Huff for that 3rd place. Jordi Genet leads. We're with Jörg Müller right behind namesake Ivan, no relation. And as the Seat gets onto the brakes, it's got a little tighter turn in, and the BMW has a very different way of getting around the corners, John.
Yeah, the rear-wheel drive car has a slightly different line through there. And at this moment in time, I think Huffy's desperately trying to hang on to these two. He just wants to munch in the back bumper of that car in front.
Well, the real problem for him is that he can't take it easy and drop back, not only because he's got everybody behind him, but the only way to make sure that the Seats are in any chance going to overwork their tyres is to make them overwork them all the way through every lap. So he's got to sacrifice his own tyres in the hope that the heavier front end of the diesel Seat will do more damage to theirs than he's doing to his.
Yeah, the diesel is heavier and it will destroy its tyres a little bit faster than the petrol was, or the Chevy for that matter. So Rob at this stage has just got to really force them to work their tyres quite hard.
Priaulx having a look at Thompson. Priaulx in 8th, don't forget, Thompson in 7th, but Andy has always said if he's got any chance of going up a point, he will always take it. Little battles further back up the order for the independence class we're not seeing at the moment, but that view back from Augusto, back from Jörg Müller's car of Ivan Müller. Has there been a change? No, there hasn't. So Nick Larini still in 6th place. Well, said he was looking a little off the boil this morning. He's certainly not now. Charlie Lamb watching the progress of Jörg Müller. He's the boss of the Schnitzer team. And of course Jörg flying the flag at the moment for BMW, the top BMW in 5th spot.
I think James is holding up Andy Priaulx now. Andy's trying really hard to get past him, and it's just that Honda's not quite got it at the moment.
Yeah, James has got a little queue, and you were saying that when you were watching it on the circuit, John, it's and that's Franz Engstler, one of the independent Liqui-Moly Engstler team BMWs. Now he was battling with Sergei Romanov and Stefano D'Aste for 3rd in the independence category, and it's Stefano D'Aste that he tangles around the nose of, and that's Romanov, his teammate, picking up a place as a result.
Yeah, he just tried to turn in a bit too early there. That wasn't really going to work. Rob's hanging on quite well. He's just giving them a real hassle here.
Oh, and the change.
Right alongside.
Yeah, Tarquini. Genet went in too hot. Tarquini goes 3. Rob goes off. Rob Huff goes 3. Door was open there for...
yeah, it's just his very opportunistic move that just opened it a little bit and he was gone. Now he needs to work over Genet.
Now that was a driver error rather than tyres giving up, surely, this early in the race. Because it was wet in qualifying, because they've had a bit of wet running, they've got plenty of fresh tyres, and particularly Seat would have been very keen on that. And Ivan Müller and Jörg Müller must be very disappointed they weren't quite close enough to get through that open door, or that Genet's mistake wasn't quite big enough to leave the room for them. But Huff now in 2nd place with Gabriele Tarquini to beat. So it's a straight man-to-man fight now, because Genet looks to be in trouble from behind with Jörg Müller, Ivan Müller and Nick Larini climbing up behind him.
I think I'd like to see that shot again, but I think Genet just made a mistake and lost on account of that. But Rob Huff has definitely got the bit between his teeth here. He's looking like he'd give them a real hard time.
He really is, isn't it? This is the view back from Jimmy Thompson. This is the queue for 7th place. Priaulx looking to the inside. Augusto Farfus is there. The next car is Ricard Rydell, our championship leader. Then Alex Zanardi. Then Thiago Montero. Then Tom Coronel. Alain Menu in 14th place. Still 6 to go, and the chance for the lead. That was Huff looking inside for the lead. Oh, he didn't get through, but he's really set the markers down to Gabriele Tarquini. You even blink, Sunbeam, and I'm by you. He's really got a great chassis. Look how much tighter he can turn. Here's the pass.
Yeah, this is his corner.
He's got the inside line, and this is for the lead now. It's going to have to be Turbo Diesel Grunt that carries Tarquini alongside him, but the braking favours Huff.
Yeah, that was a good move. Just very clean, and you could see him lining him up, and he's got a strong car, and he just feels like this race is his.
He said he had a pole-winning car. He said he had a good, quick race car, but the problem was, could he get by the Seats? Well, goodness me, he really has made it work for him. He's got by the Seats while he had fresh tyres, and they had fresh tyres too. And Rob Huff leads the race. And don't forget, this is a race that he has never been to corner 2 in lap 1 of before. Jörg Müller still 5 laps into this race. We've got a lot of racing to go. And so Jörg now, having seen that the Chevrolet has managed to get through the Seats, has got to really keep the pressure up. because he's got to force more mistakes out of the 3 yellow cars in front of him.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't say too much about Rob at the moment. It might be the kiss of death, but he's definitely looks as though he's got this part of it under control halfway through the
He
race.
made it to corner 2. I promised I wouldn't mention it until he had done. We were breaking out the champagne in celebration. Huff leads, Tarquini second, little gap back to Janae, and I sense that Janae is the weakest of this little group in terms of pace. I think he's having to really push the car harder than the others are, and of course with their engineers, John, they will vary the settings on the car a little bit to suit their style, or perhaps guess where the track's going to be, because it rained yesterday. It'll be very different to how they've experienced it in the dry before.
Yeah, but
Farfus out of 8th place, 9th place. He was in that queue behind Thompson and Prio.
that looks as though somebody's tapped him there with the back damage on that car.
Well, he had the very heavily laden Ricard Rydell behind him. Thompson is still there. We're on board with Augusto. That's Ricard behind. What happens? Goes off on the inside under braking and spins and gets collected.
Yeah.
Oh, and that was Ricard. It was Ricard. Now, no fault, no penalty
Ricard.
for Ricard, no question at all. So I'm guessing there was a move between Thompson and Prio, and Augusto dived to the inside and just couldn't hold it on the loose.
Yeah, he just got a wheel over the loose and that was it. He was gone. But that wasn't Ricard's fault in any way, and it's unfortunately he's been tied up in that mess. Otherwise, his 8th place was looking reasonably safe.
Well, the championship leader is out, and again Prio's having a look at Thompson, can't get through now. This one of the problems that the FIA Touring Car Bureau have with this Honda is its base chassis is very good. It was 3 years ago, and it's still essentially the same car, and its base